It's a beautiful fall day here in downtown White Bear Lake as we bring you this October edition of Local Image. I'm your host, Judy Skeie-Voss, and I'm outside a brand new event venue called Kellerman's. The venue is new, but the history of this building goes back a long ways. We'll take you inside to see this unique place as we enjoy an open house and a magazine launch happening here a little later on today's show. But first, we'd like to introduce you to a local resident who has made a name for himself in the jazz world and beyond. Wong wears many hats, including that of producer, composer, and musician, and he shared his story, his music, and a look inside his recording studio in this Local Image segment.
I'll just play the first thing that comes to my mind right now.
Hi, Wong.
Hi.
I am Judy Skeie-Voss. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Thanks
to meet
for
you
having
too.
us in your essential studios.
Thanks for coming. This room is our tracking room, so that's like taking all of the performance and just capturing it onto tape and recording it. All the rooms are connected, so all the wires go into the main control room.
Okay.
And then all the sound gets dumped into there, and
so everyone kind of sees what each other is doing, but they can't hear each other.
well, we have headphones hooked up so everybody can hear each other in the rooms, and we have windows, still soundproof glass and all that.
So not only do you play multiple instruments and you know music so well, you're a techie too. You have to be with all this gear, right?
Yeah.
What's harder to remember, the music stuff or the techie stuff for you?
Well, I've been doing it for so long now, it's kind of all natural, but my nature is as a musician. I'm first a musician and second an engineer. So this next area here is kind of one of our common areas. We have kitchen, kind of lounge.
Well, let's make it into where you do most of your work, right?
Okay, yep, we'll go to the control room.
Okay,
Yep.
control room.
I got for Christmas one year a little recording device with 8-track recording thing and would record my band, and so I've kind of been producing music since I was, I guess, in like 8th grade.
A long time, for sure. You currently reside in White Bear Lake, but your music has taken you, all around the world. And I know there's a special project that you were working on with some New World sound. Tell us a little bit about what you do in that genre.
Yep. So I was a producer of an album and a band called Peña, which is Afro-Peruvian music, so music from the coast of Peru. Everybody there was really excited that somebody from outside of their area was interested in what they were doing, and the fact that I learned how to play all their music and all the traditional Afro-Peruvian songs and wanting to record it and play it with them, they were all really excited.
And this has become kind of a niche for you now too, isn't it? I mean, where you're kind of collecting unique sounds or maybe sounds that people don't typically hear. Tell a little bit about how you're putting that together and how that's working for you as a business.
Yep, so that's the Secret Stash record side of things that I do. So my friend Eric Voss and I, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago, founded a record label called Secret Stash. And it started just by finding just rare music, really niche music from around the world or even from in the States, but stuff that's kind of lost and forgotten. So we've been able to engineer and be a part of some really cool projects.
That's real retro.
It is. Yeah.
I think a lot of people have heard you perform at the Artists Quarter. You perform there on Tuesday nights with your band, right?
Yep.
Tell us about your band and the sound that people will hear if they go to the Artists Quarter.
Yep. So that is my jazz quartet. It's all original music written by myself or one of the piano players that plays with me. And it's jazz, but it's not real traditional jazz. It's got a little more of a contemporary vibe to it, a little more of a modern vibe.
So Corey, you've had some really fun projects that you've been able to work on. Tell us a little bit about this Rock Band video program.
Oh yeah, Rock Band 2.
Rock Band 2.
Yeah,
Tell us about that. That's pretty exciting.
So that was actually, that had come after the fact of me putting out a solo guitar record.
Okay.
And somebody had come to me and said, hey, we love your song and we need some content for this video game that's out. Have you heard of it? I said, oh, of course. Yeah, this it was a really, really popular game at the time. All those kind of interactive video games were fairly new. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of surreal to me to watch. I'll look on YouTube and I'll see videos of people playing my song on Rock Band, and like hearing my song, and like hearing this video game, people make mistakes of my song, or like hearing them play it all the way through and see it. It's funny because I'm not very good at the video game, so I tried to play my song in the video game and couldn't do it.
It's harder
I can play
than
my
it
song. Yeah.
That is so funny. Obviously are so passionate about music, and it's taking you in all of these wonderful directions. What is it that you're hoping for the future? I mean, you've done a lot at your, relatively young age, so what are you hoping for?
I'm hoping to just keep the train moving forward and keep the momentum going. I'd like to just work on bigger and bigger projects. I haven't worked on any big major films. Most of it has been indie stuff, which I love doing, but it would be fun to do something on a little bit of a larger scale, or doing some more touring with bigger acts and that sort of stuff.
Well, you've gotten some great reviews, as I said earlier. What kinds of comments make you feel good about what you're doing? What have you heard that tells you, yeah, I really have something going here? Well,
when somebody can say, I mean, it's my solo guitar stuff, somebody says, oh, I really love your record. It's, when I put my kids to sleep at night, we put it on in the background and we read, and it really helps them. Or, hey, it helps me in my, just kind of devotional time of the day or whatever. And stuff where people can personally connect with it. Their lives, emotionally or whatever, can connect to it.
In a way that is making them feel good.
Yeah.
Feel better.
Yeah.
We're excited to have Corey perform during our annual STC Excellence in Community Television Awards happening this month at the Vadnais Heights Commons. For more information about Corey and his music, visit his website at corywong.com. Now, on a different note, we turn our attention to the issue of bullying and a bullying prevention program called Olweus. This national program is new to local independent school district 622, where it was recently launched during a kickoff event for students. I found out more about the Olweus program and why schools are embracing it during an interview with a kindergarten teacher and 2 fifth grade students at Weaver Elementary School in Maplewood. So when you were in kindergarten, you probably, did you know what bullying was when you were a kindergartner?
No,
didn't mean really anything to you?
I didn't really care.
No,
it was just
we were
like having fun.
We were just like thinking about we can't wait until we get home and playtime.
Right, you weren't thinking about bullying.
We didn't even know. Our teacher never explained it to us, and we never heard that word.
Now that you're fifth graders, you do know what bullying is, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys experienced it yourself? Have you ever been bullied?
Yes.
Yes.
You have? What kind of bullying have you experienced?
Like people calling names.
Your name calling, that's what I've experienced.
That's pretty common, name calling.
Like,
Krista, are there concerns in this school in particular, in the district? I mean, have we seen kind of a rise in the bullying atmosphere?
Well, the way that the Olweus program starts is where last spring we gave our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders a survey. And so they had the opportunity to write down different areas in the school where they felt bullying was the most challenging. And so we, at our school, and I think at any school, there are hot spots, as they call them in Olweus, and our school found that we need to target the playground and the buses those are places where the kids told us that they felt bullying was pretty bad.
And so for you, Dylan, what is it that you like so far about what you're learning about this anti-bullying program? What have you liked about it so far?
I just like that all the teachers are now taking it serious, that like now they're actually getting in, like, because I was on the bus last year and there was probably mostly the 3rd and 2nd graders would get into fights because like they'd be doing their homework and then like the 3rd graders would try to be like overruling them and trying to be the boss of them.
Trying to do power trips kind of a thing on the younger kids.
And like in 3rd grade, I was in 3rd grade, that's where I think all bullying starts in 3rd grade. And 3rd grade is just the start of being the big kid in the school. And so like everybody started getting mad at other people and they didn't really want to talk to anybody about it.
Have you noticed some of this stuff that the kids are alluding to in the school here? I mean, was there a big problem here at the school at all, or?
I don't think it's any more difficult than any other school. I think
pretty typical stuff.
It's just something where our district is taking a stand, kind of just being proactive. And I think nationally, it's been really shocking what other things have been happening in other schools with kids younger and younger feeling the pressures of bullying, so we just don't want that to happen here.
Friends, and if we see something happening that we know is not okay, we need to stand up for that person.
There's different parts to the program. Talk a little bit about this kind of interception, or being the bystander. What's some key things there? Because I would imagine that it would be where you don't necessarily want the bystander to get physically involved in separating up a fight or something like that. How does this work for a bystander?
Well, I think it's really just helping them to realize that they can, if it seems safe, they can step in and help if someone is being bullied, and then if that doesn't work, really getting an adult involved. And one of the rules says we will tell an adult at school and an adult at home, and I think that's really important because we hear it a lot at school maybe, and we have so many things to deal with. Not to say that we're pushing it aside, but if they aren't heard at school, then they need to tell someone else until they are heard. So
I think we all know that kids kid each other, they tease a little bit. I mean, where is the kind of the line between typical behavior with kids and then kind of crossing into this bullying? I mean, sometimes that seems like it might be a gray area.
It will be a challenge to explain that to the students, especially where you draw the line between just, a one-time thing and bullying. But I think the biggest thing is just that it's repeated and it's happening time and time again. And maybe they've tried a lot of the different coping skills that we've told them about, like asking them to stop and, trying to become friends with this person or whatever. But if it's continuing to happen and there's no improvement, then that definitely would be considered bullying.
Do they have to experience it themselves firsthand, or they just have to see this behavior repeated over and over? What do you tell the students to look for or be aware of?
Well, through the Olweus lessons, we do kind of skits and different scenarios that we can read through and then reflect on. And
Shout it. 1, 2. Hey, can I play with you guys? Ew, no, we don't want you to. Hey, we just learned this in class, not to treat others that way.
So we should let her play.
Well, I guess she could play.
the biggest thing is just to include everyone, and I think that ends up battling some of the problems before they even start. Just making sure that everyone has someone to play with, if it's kindergarten or in the older grades. Just making sure that everyone has a friend.
Okay. Let's just end with each of you telling me why you think the people watching this program, why they should know about the anti-bullying program here at your school. Let's start with you. Why should people watching know about this?
So that they should know, so that if they see it happening, around their neighborhood or some like wherever they go that they could help prevent it from happening.
Good idea.
I think the teachers should, they should, not just the kids should be watching out, because sometimes the still adults that we probably know as strangers, they still are bullying each other.
Right. So having the adults in a neighborhood be aware too and be willing to kind of step in and stop bullying if they see some of that happening, right? Mm-hmm. To know that it's okay to step in, that's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, Krista, final comments from you on this idea?
Well, I just hope that having the whole community aware of this program will kind of make everyone be involved, like the kids said. Really, it's not just a school activity, it's really involving the parents and the adults at the school and the kids and then the greater community as well, to make sure that all the kids are feeling safe and happy to come to school.
Very good. Well, thank you all very much for sharing your stories with us today about anti-bullying here at Weaver School. Thanks again. Back in White Bear Lake, it's time to go inside the newest venue to open here in the heart of downtown, called Kellerman's. And along with celebrating the new venue, today's event also boasted the launch of the new White Bear Lake magazine. So just like a great happy hour, it's a 2-for-1 in this local image segment.
I've been in this building since 1979. I moved in here, and I had a little strip along the side of the building over here, and I ran an upholstery business in there, and then I expanded, and pretty soon, 12 years ago, I bought the building. The original structure that we're in right here was built in 1906, and that was to be a YMCA. It's been a lot of things. It was a YMCA for not that long, about 6 years. It was first movie theater in town. That was in the late 20s. And in fact, it burnt in 1929. So what we're seeing here is actually a redone ceiling and floor.
This beautiful facility formerly was my dance studio for 25 years. I always knew that the big arch wood ceiling was in there, and Terry and I talked about it. I tried to beg him to get it exposed for my studio, but it was such a mess. I actually was here the summer that he started tearing it down, and this was a mess. It's a year project for him to do that, so I'm kind of glad he didn't do it for me. We always knew there was beautiful brickwork behind everything, but again, for a dance studio, it's not a good idea. And I do know that Terry's fabulous with what he does with his antiques. And so everything that's in here is so eclectic, and it's very respectful of the old city, and I just think he did a fabulous job. I don't think there's anything that he could do differently.
I am at awe at what Terry does and what Ann does. They have such a vision, and they're such hard workers, and everything just came together so well.
Then we also took the alley and just transformed that. We actually lucked out and hooked up with Celine from Keys over here, and she came in and did all our planting for us. We'd done the infrastructure part of that. We put the sidewalk in and some of the stones and trees, but then she came in and just transformed the place, just really did a nice job for us.
My husband and I were actually award-winning gardeners. We're in Scandia. We live in Scandia, and we have incredible gardens there. But I knew I needed something a little bit more public. I actually love the space. I love the alleyway. I love being cornered by two walls.
Yeah.
Are you getting booked?
Yeah, we are starting the book. Well, Saturday night.
My son and his fiance got married in August. We were the very first people here. In fact, Terry wasn't even ready to have people. And I said, I don't care. I don't care if you're not ready. And it was magical. It was just magical. All the things that weren't quite ready, nobody noticed. This space we will never forget. I will never forget the experience. In fact, we had the woman who owned 4th Street Dance. She choreographed a flash mob for us. So we danced. I mean, if you're in this space, you have to dance.
And thank you all so much for coming to this wonderful event tonight. We're absolutely thrilled to be here, and we're thrilled to be in the White Bear Lake community, bringing you this fabulous magazine. Really what we do is we like to share your stories. We like to tell the stories of the people and the places and all the events that make White Bear such a fabulous place to live. Well, this actually is a launch party for the White Bear Lake magazine. We had our premiere issue come out on September 1st, so we're absolutely thrilled to be in the White Bear Lake area. It's something we're very proud of. And yeah, it's a lot of great, wonderful people and wonderful food, of course. We'll go home tonight and blog about it. So, and that will be on our website. And of course, we have our photographers here tonight. So those will be in an upcoming issue for sure. And I'm sure I'll write it in the edit note as well. So we'll definitely talk about it.
I do miss coming here, but now I get to come in and celebrate events with my old dancers. We've already had a couple weddings here, and my students love to come by and just check out the old place. And when they graduate, they want to sit on the steps and they cry and tell their memories. And now it's a chance for them to come back for better memories, you know, for themselves and their own children. So it's kind of it's cool how it's all come around, you know.
It's a family-owned deal, and we're part of White Bear, and we want White Bear to be, you know, a good family place. That's what we're trying to have here.
A great new event venue and a great new local magazine. Congratulations to Kellerman's and Tiger Oaks Publications and the staff of White Bear Lake Magazine. Now, let's top off that last event with another great one we recently covered for On Location TV 19, the annual White Bear Township Day celebration.
I'm brave and strong.
This festival is awesome. I mean, you've got toys for the kids or games for the kids. You've got some foods, you've got some crafts and arts, things, jewelry for everybody. So you've got something for everybody here. It's a great event.
I just want to say we love White Bear Lake.
We love White Bear.
We love White Bear. We love White Bear.
Vote 2012. Live local election results and information. Tune in Tuesday, November 6th at 8:30 p.m. for live election coverage on Ramsey, Washington Cable Channel 18. Vote on November 6th, then watch Vote 2012 live and local, your best source for local election coverage in the northeast suburbs of Ramsey and Washington counties.
Well, that does it for this edition of Local Image. Be sure to join us in November for a new show, and remember to vote on November 6th, and then tune in our Vote 2012 live and local election night coverage on Ramsey, Washington Cable Channel 18 starting at 8:30 p.m. Until November, I'm Judy Skeie-Voss, and I do thank you for watching Local Image.
Stanley, what on earth are you doing?
Well, the film and I...
Didn't you say you always wanted to be in pictures?
Well, yes I did, but not like this.
Stanley, it's all about television nowadays. Look at this flyer I was handed at the high school game last night. It says you too can make TV. Volunteer with On Location TV 19 and we'll show you how.
Well, Ollie, what do you think that means?
Oh. Stanley, pick up that film reel. Oh. It means that if you volunteer with On Location TV 19, you too can make TV.
Well, Ollie, what kind of TV? Oh!
If you volunteer for On Location TV 19, you can cover high school sporting events, community concerts, parades, and much more.
Do you think that's why they had cameras at the game last night?
Why, certainly. That's why they had those announcers, instant replay, and all that modern TV stuff.
Ollie, do you think that I could operate one of those TV cameras?
Why, of course you could. The folks at TV 19 will show you how.
Ollie, are we still living in the 1930s?
No, of course not, you silly Willy. Why do you ask such a question?
Well, then why are we in black and white?
That's what they call special effects nowadays. I'm sure if you wanted to appear in color, all you'd have to do is ask.
Can we be in color, please?